Khalees can teach you how her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, but she'll have to do what?
She'll have to charge.
That's right, girl.
She gonna have to charge, okay?
To the past, present, and future you with actress Danielle Monet Truitt as she dives into the beautiful complexities of life's journey through real, transparent conversation. All the women I've been made me into who I've become.
Hey y'all, it's Danielle Monet Truitt. I am back with another episode of All the Women I've Been. Now, those of you who know me know I love me some 90s R&B and hip hop. If you put on Poison, you finna get full on dance routine. Can't nobody see me. So I am excited about this episode. We have your favorite 90s homegirl, Maria Bone, AKA Maria Ferrer, AKA social media superstar. She is a content creator and a host. And we are going to have a time talking about all things hip hop and R&B from the 90s.
What's up, Maria Bone?
Hey, girl, hey.
I'm so happy to meet you.
You too. This is awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'm really looking forward to this episode because I just feel like it's going to be so much fun.
You know how we do it.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
I love me some 90s hip hop and R&B.
Oh, okay. We got some stuff to talk about.
Your videos are hysterical.
Thank you.
They are so funny. Like our mutual friend is who told me to even ask you to be on the podcast.
Right.
And I had already seen your videos before I knew that he knew you.
Oh, I love that.
And I have certain friends, like, you know, me and my friends, we send
DMs and
Yes.
videos and stuff, yeah.
And a couple of yours have definitely come
Oh,
up.
that makes me so happy.
So yeah, it's just good, wholesome fun, and because I'm born in the '80s, you know, '90s music is my whole childhood, and,
right?
You know, teenage years or whatever. So I love the nostalgia and just the joy that you bring to our lives.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Especially on social media, because you know, sometimes I'm on social media and I'm like, I got to get off.
Exactly, and you know that's what really inspired me to do it, because I was like, we need some laughter, we need some nostalgia, like let's bring all that back.
Yes,
you know, so much craziness going on in the world, so we need a little laughter.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, when did you fall in love with 90s music and hip hop? Is there like a song? Is there like a boy you dated? Like what? Like
Okay, you know what it was? It really was just the fact that all I did was listen to the radio. That was all I did. And I would call into the station, and, you know, I had no life. I was just a little kid and just would be on the radio, you know, sitting next to the radio. I still remember the first time I heard Mary J. Blige, Real Love. Girl, I was like in second or third grade, and I was like, who is this? Yes. And I just remember, I was just hooked. I just loved it. And then my first CD was TLC, their first album. Yes. And that just was always my thing, you know? I just loved, like, everybody at school knew me as the girl that knew music, and you know, you needed a song, I had you. If you couldn't think of a song, I'm gonna remember it for you.
Oh my God, I love it.
But early childhood memories of the 90s R&B.
I remember getting out of school, because I was a huge radio. You know,
right.
That's all we could listen to.
I feel like that was what we did back in the day, right?
So I remember I think I was in the third grade. I remember getting off the bus, sprinting home because I used to love ABC at the playground.
Girl, like not another bad creation.
Girl, that was my jam, okay?
Yes.
And I did not want to miss it being played on the radio.
Oh my God.
And I wanted to record it, like, so we had our, you know, you have the cassette tapes, and then you do the thing so that you can record.
So you would put the tape over the thing and then hit the record and the play button.
Yes.
Yes.
And record the song. Me and my siblings would do our own radio show.
Okay. Oh, I love it.
Where we would take that tape, we would take the songs from the actual radio, but then in between we would like act like we were the radio
DJs, right?
Yes.
We were so creative.
Yes.
We were so creative back then.
And that video you did about the voicemails.
Oh yeah.
Man, we got so creative with
we was our own DJs, okay? I mean, we literally would get on the voicemail, pick out the right song, the right part of the song, and then the song had to be a little bit subliminal, right? Like you had to like kind of whatever mood you was in, you was throwing that in there too. And I mean, and I can't believe people sat and listened through that. And we sure did 3 minutes into it,
Yes.
like, okay.
Yes, we did. I mean, we didn't have as many things as they have now to take our attention.
No.
So,
But I think we were so creative back then. Like, I tell my son all the time, I'm like, figure it out, do something creative, you know, because I figured so much stuff out. Like you mentioned with the tape and stuff, like I figured out how to do that. I figured out, you know, the blank tapes, recording it off the TV and the music videos and stuff.
yes. Those were the days.
That was a good time.
Those were the days. Do you have a music background? Like, you know?
Yeah, so I actually went to a performing arts school for high school.
Okay.
So I do music, you know, I sing and everything. And for many years, I was a vocal teacher.
Okay.
I would teach kids music and stuff. And that was just always my calling, was like music. And so when I started making my videos, it was around the pandemic. You know, I didn't have social media. I was going through it with social media. Girl, I feel like we all try to find like our niche in social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well maybe I could post like my singing video, like my singing lessons or, you know, fashion or something. But then I was like, you know, and then I deleted all my social media during the pandemic.
Why?
Because I just was like, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I feel you.
It gets old real quick.
Yeah,
it gets old real quick. Like I'd be scrolling and it'd be all these like,
it's
it just be too much.
And it aggravates me, some of the stuff people post, some of the comments. Like sometimes I go through the comments and I just feel
it's
like,
draining.
It
is draining. And I've had to really find that balance for myself because at that time I was like, I don't want nothing to do with this. And I just deleted it. And then I remember a good friend of mine told me like, but you're so funny and you know so much about music, like you should post stuff like that. And I remember saying, don't nobody want to see all that?
Yes, we do.
I'm like, don't nobody care to see nothing about no 90s R&B. But then it was the end of the pandemic, like 2021, I posted a video of me dancing and singing in the kitchen to Drew Hill.
Oh, I love. Was it Tell Me?
Girl, you know it was. Come on. And it went totally viral. And I was like, wait a minute. And, you know, it just, everybody was like, oh my God, this is my era of music. And thank you so much. I forgot all about this song. And then it just became a ripple effect from there.
It's really nothing like it. And I think back to like, so for me, I think my one song that I can think of that made me like fall in love with R&B, like I'm a huge Whitney Houston fan.
I love the Whitney.
Like this is my girl. My mom, growing up when I was, you know, a baby and stuff, in my mom's house, she was constantly playing Whitney, Michael Jackson.
Oh, I love it. The legends.
Oh my God, yeah. Michael Jackson was like my invisible friend.
Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten, like I used to have
breakfast
with Michael Jackson every morning. So
I love that so much.
So, and I'm a singer as well. Like I come from a musical family, so music was always a big thing. But when I was a teenager, and I think about like R&B, and what song really like got me like in my feels.
What was it?
It was All the Things Your Man Won't Do by Joe.
Girl, you better stop.
That is still my song.
I love Joe.
Day.
And you remember that song Good Girl?
Yes. So
Girl.
Good.
Yes.
So good.
Okay, so since you love Whitney, are you a Brandy fan too?
I love Brandy.
Oh yes, me
She's
too.
amazing.
That was one of my first, I'll never forget that as a kid. The first CD I personally was like, I have to have that CD.
Yes.
Her first CD, and I Never Say Never. I mean, I was like at the store.
First
and
one with the little hat.
Yes. Oh my God, I
so
loved that whole album from beginning to end. I remember I used to sit there and read the credits and just read the lyrics, everything.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the kids
they don't have
to
that
miss out on. Like going through that book, seeing the pictures, reading about how
I would read like who produced her thank yous. I would always read the thank yous, and especially Mariah Carey albums. Like she would put all her lyrics in there, so I would just spend hours reading that. And that's a lost art, you know what I mean? Like people, especially now when people drop music, it's like we don't even listen to it or care or know. And back then it was like, okay, release date's June 21st, you know, like
It was so much more. It was the music, yes, but it was also who else was involved in like the creation of it, and if the lyrics were in there, or just the art, the the photographs and
even like the TV shows. Like I remember Video Soul and girl, not just TRL. I'm talking Video Soul. I'm talking 106. You know, but before then, I remember just seeing music videos for the first time and being like, oh my gosh,
man. Okay, what are like 2 or 3 music videos that you still really remember?
Okay, so I'm a big Bone Thugs and Harmony fan.
Yes, Maria Bone.
Maria Bone. And I remember the first time I saw the Crossroads video. Do you remember that video?
Girl, yes.
I remember it was just playing on the TV, and I just was like in the living room, and I stopped dead in my tracks, like, oh my God. Like, it was just so much of the story. It was sad. It was a scary music video.
Right.
It was so much going on. So that was one video I remembered. And Mariah Carey. I remember seeing Mariah for the first time. And I couldn't believe that.
Oh, like A Vision of Love?
Yeah, well, I think the first video I saw from her was Emotion.
Oh, Emotion.
And when I heard the whistle tone, I had never heard that before.
Right.
So I was just like, who? Oh my God. Is that her voice? Is that really her doing that? Or what is that? So yeah, so Mariah and Brandy. Brandy was a big one for me. Brandy was huge back then. She was like the triple threat.
She really was, yeah. She was amazing.
She is still that girl. I love me some Brandy.
Now the funny thing I think about, my one video would be Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah.
Oh yeah, that one, girl.
I knew
that
all
was
that choreography. Okay.
The name, every girl, everything.
Friends.
You couldn't get away from that song or that video.
Me and my friends were in front of that TV learning all
the
of
choreography.
And then we were cheerleaders, so we incorporated the choreography.
Oh my God,
into like our cheerleading routine.
Yeah.
So I loved that video.
Yeah.
And then I think this is the 2000s. But
girl,
Chingy. I like that video.
Why do I still be doing that dance move though? I'll be thinking that's still like the hottest thing out, and I'm like,
girl.
I'm aging myself. I'm completely dating myself.
Girl, yes. Any place I go
that's
where they're playing 90s, where they're playing 90s, 2000 music, I know every dance. Oh, and Poison.
Oh,
that
girl, that's classic. That's timeless. Like they play that everywhere I go.
That video, I remember.
As soon as they start playing that, it's like everybody just stops and don't talk about Juvenile, girl.
I love that song to this day.
Till this day,
And
but
I get pissed when they don't say for the 99 and the 2000.
I know.
Like, you can't play the song without starting from
with
the
that.
beginning.
I know. That's what makes it so classic. But I just seen an interview on him where he was like, that's a producer's dream for that song to still be going 20 years later.
Oh my God.
Like it just dropped. I was like, come on now.
Yeah.
But you know what was another good music video? Remember when TLC dropped No Scrubs?
Yes.
Like that was iconic. I feel like now we hear that song so much. It's kind of like the song that everybody sings at karaoke and stuff. But at that time, it was like, oh my God.
Creep too.
Yes.
Yeah. Creep.
Yeah.
Creep
Yeah, girl. So these kids could never, okay?
I was just looking at something that they were talking about how they try to compare Taylor Swift and Drake and them to Michael Jackson.
Oh, girl.
As far as like being like a star, and it's like nobody besides maybe Prince, like the star. Nobody has that star power.
No,
like nobody has
the longevity, any of it.
Nobody.
I know. I get really offended with that type of stuff, and I'm like, is it just because I'm from the different generation? But I respect all artists. You know what I mean? Like I respect everybody's art, creativity, hustle.
Right.
But I mean. That's the greatest. Exactly.
He will
always be.
So how did you start? So I know you were saying you deleted your Instagram.
Yeah.
Your friend was like, well, what about, posting things about your music, whatever. So
right.
How did you get the idea, like, okay, let me do these videos? And then what was your, like, how did the following that you had?
You know what's funny? When my videos first started going viral, I didn't know what was happening. So I was like, who are these people and what they want from me? Because you would know, like, who following you and you following who you following. I'm like, I don't know these people. Right. And then I realized, like, oh, wait, like, this is taking off. Okay, like, I was still learning all of it, and it was just crazy. And I knew I was doing the right thing when my creativity was just going.
Flowing.
All day long. I was like, where's my camera? Where's my tripod? Where's my ring light? And it was not a full production at all. It's my little phone with, a little $10 ring light or whatever. Right. But all the ideas were flowing. And people were like, oh my God, I love your videos. This is so me. And I think that's the main thing, was that it was just relatable to everybody. Yeah. And I've never tried to fit into the mold of this or that. Like, it was just me being me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah. And it's so cliche to say, because we're always like, just be yourself. But it's like, really be yourself.
Right.
Really be yourself.
Because a lot of people aren't really themselves.
Yeah, and I can see it. I can see when a lot of people, I'm like, it's for show, it's for cameras, for whatever, you know, and that's probably their thing. But for me, the way that it just authentically was like every minute I was coming up with these ideas, like, oh, I remember we used to do this. I remember we used to, okay, where's my camera for that? And it's just cool, you know?
Okay.
I just want it to be something I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how did you build upon it? Because you don't.
So
right,
it's interesting, like it just kind of
it's
kept going, but
else.
then it started to morph into something else when a lot of the songs that I was putting in my song in the videos, the artists started like following me. So I'm like, shoot, hold on, I'm about to get this person in my video,
right.
you know. But they would start to follow me. The first one that I reached out to is Silky Fine. She has a song Romeo and Juliet. It was very big on the West Coast. And she was like, I love your videos. I would love to do something with you. So I was like, let's do it. And when we met, we shot the little video of her cameo. And for one, it's me giving them flowers. You know, their flowers of like, you guys have no idea how much these songs meant to me. And from there, it was just like, I just started getting all the artists in, like Corrupt from Dog Pound, you know, Bone Thugs. We did a video. And that one meant a lot to me because they are, you know, I'm such a big fan. And Lazy Bone was telling me, man, I've seen you. I watch all your videos. I've seen you. And I'm like, but I see you.
That feels incredible.
Yeah. And so it was interesting with that. One of the videos I did about them went super viral, and their manager reached out and was like, okay, you have to come to their show in LA. They were doing Crush Groove, and I was like, okay, say less. And it was so magical because when I met them, it wasn't just me winning concert tickets or something. You know what I mean? Like, as a fan, like, they were like, oh my God, like, we love your content. And I'm just like,
they're a fan of you.
Right. And I'm like, 12-year-old Maria Bone is just screaming.
Yo, that is surreal. No, it really is surreal to be a fan of someone, especially in your adolescence.
Oh my God.
And then get to a place in your career or whatever where that person becomes a fan of you, or you become friends with the person. Right. It's like, but I had a poster of you on my wall. Like,
I literally had a notebook. Do you remember how we used to collect pictures from like Word Up magazine and Ride On magazine? Yes. I used to collect all their posters and everything. Yeah. I got the name Maria Bone in like 6th grade because everybody was just like, you are just obsessed with these guys. So it was so surreal. I just couldn't believe it. And then later on, they had a concert, and they was like, we want you to introduce us on stage. So I was like, you better stop. So that's where like the host and stuff starting to come in because it's like, okay, like I would love, don't make me put on my own.
Are you, well, I was going to say, and this is because I'm nosy and I be in everything. Like, this is the part of me, the producer part of me. Right. I see people doing stuff, and I'm like, ooh, they should do blah, 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 blah,
right.
blah. So I'm like, you should totally host your own concerts. Like, I know it's a lot that goes into it and money and stuff.
But I'm open to all the possibilities. And I see a lot of people comment that. Like, it'll be certain concerts that people tag me in, like, are you going to be at this? Are you hosting this? And I'm like, okay, this is a direction for me. You know what I mean? So, so I've definitely been hosting more shows, which has been so surreal. It's been great. Like, I can't believe it. You know, there's times where I'm just like, I'm introducing these people. Like, you know, but it's just so cool. Yeah. It's like, you know, I remember hearing something prior to starting all this. I was like, go back to like the childhood stuff. Like, what did you love to do? Because all of that is erased. Exactly. You know, you become a parent. You know, I'm a single mom. Like, I don't think about that stuff. You know what I mean? So with that, I was like, God, what did I used to love as a kid? I'm like, I always loved my music. My music was my thing, you know? And then it became, you know, everything that it is and more. So it's crazy.
It's very cool. I love how you created your own lane, and it takes a lot of faith and creativity to start something. I think the beautiful thing about creativity is when you first start doing it, you just start it because you love it. Like for me with acting, like it's like, okay, I'm in college, I take this acting class, I have a knack for it. Right. Cool. So I give 100% in that area. I'm like, okay, I want to be an actress on TV. Like, these are my goals, TV, film, whatever, theater. These are my goals. And then as those goals begin to come to pass, God starts to reveal the other talents that
Yes.
you have and the other ways that you can reach out to people and touch people.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, oh, I'm not only an actor, I'm a producer.
Absolutely.
I'm a content creator.
Right.
I'm a podcast host.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
when I first started acting, I never saw this
right
now.
Right.
I never saw myself working with, like, talking about stuff you put on and when I was a kid, I had posters from my bed all the way up.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, because I played basketball and I loved Michael Jordan.
Right.
Busta Rhymes.
Yes. All them were the magazine.
Erykah Badu.
Yes.
112.
Mm-hmm.
Method Man.
Yes.
Wu-Tang. Like all of them all over my wall. And now I sit back and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I've met so many of these people. I've worked, met Busta Rhymes.
Right.
That was crazy for me. Like, he's like, come to my concert. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, because he knows what I do on television.
It's the craziest feeling, isn't it?
Or I got to work with Method Man played my husband on TV
Oh my gosh, girl.
That was the weirdest.
Cheers to that alone, okay? Okay?
That was the most surreal. I remember,
God.
so I got the show, and then they were like, we're trying to find somebody to play your husband, love interest, or whatever.
I love it.
And so they're like, yeah, we're going to get Method Man. I'm like, what?
Right.
So they're like, yeah, we're going to do a test audition shoot with you too. Now, I already booked the part.
Right.
But I'm nervous as if I didn't already book the part.
Right.
Like,
it's
he
not
was
already
the one
yours.
auditioning. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Method Man.
Right.
And then I met him, and he's the most down to earth.
He's so cool
Person. We have the same birthday.
Yeah.
Like, he was more nervous than I was.
Aww.
And I'm thinking, like, I'm nervous. Like, why are you so nervous?
Right. Right.
So, like, just getting to work with so many people, it's like, wow, like, not only did my dream come true, but then people that I never even thought I would ever know.
And they're just like your friends now, and you work with them. It's crazy.
And they're just cool people.
Yeah, and Method's the coolest guy ever.
He is. He's great.
And going back to what you were saying about how you kind of just first start with acting and stuff, it's so many layers to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like first just having the confidence to put yourself out there.
Yes.
Just to even go and audition or take a class or, and then you finally book something and then it's like, dealing with criticism or whatnot, you know?
Of course, right.
It's so many layers to it that people don't understand.
Yeah.
And I have so much compassion. Like, I'm not saying I don't look at my idols like that anymore, but it's like I just have so much compassion for them.
Of course.
Because I'm just like, it's so much that goes behind it and things that people don't see behind the scenes, the work and the skills to be able to just keep going every single day.
And the disappointments that you face and the fear of, because there's a season for everything. So nothing really lasts forever.
Right.
So the level of success that you had at one point in your career, you might not have 15 years later.
Exactly.
How do you still find
purpose almost?
Purpose.
Yeah,
yes. How do you find purpose? How do you find what is it? How does your self-esteem not suffer
from that? Yeah.
From that. How do you stay grounded and sober-minded so that when the tide starts to go down a little bit, you don't lose it? You know what I mean?
It's so much. It's a lot.
So
and
much.
even as a voice teacher, that was something I would see because I would have people come in just saying, I just love singing in my house and I like to sing in the car. I really just want to try something new. And then I see people from that beginning stage to performing songs that they've been doing for 20 years, and like how do they stay relevant or stay passionate about their craft. So I respect it all. I really do. It's so much to it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, I know you teach vocal lessons, but do you sing? Like, are you singing? Like,
no, I've never really. I mean, I did back then, but now not as much now. And I'm not doing the vocal coaching as much anymore since the social media stuff took off. But it taught me so much. It really did. I've had so many great people over the years, and I feel like all of that prepared me for like now. Like, for example, I would do little recitals. Like, we'd rent out a little theater and we would do little recitals for everybody. And then when I got the call to be the moderator for TLC's film on Lifetime, I was like, oh my God. But then I thought it's the same thing.
Prepared you already, yeah.
For, like, I'm going to be in the theater. I'm going to be introducing them. I'm going to be talking. Like, it's the same thing. So, you know, all of it is just preparing you for your destiny, for what you're supposed to be doing.
I love it.
Yeah, and just like you said, it opens other doors. Like you said, the podcasting, acting, like all of that. Like when I first started my videos, I would have never thought I'd be hosting shows or concerts. You know, I just was like, I'm just having fun.
That's so cool. So cool. Now, how do you manage your time? I've said this in one of my other podcasts last season. I don't believe in balance, and I hate when people ask women how they balance going after their dreams and raising children, because men never get asked that question. Nobody's ever asking men how they balance fatherhood and their career. Right. But I will say, how do you navigate being a single mom of he's 13, right?
He just turned 13.
Of a teenager. Girl, I have a teenager too.
Oh, girl.
A 13-year-old. And it's an interesting, it's like like they're changing right before your eyes. Their personalities, they're dealing with all kind of stuff. And then being a single mom as well, like, you know, their dad is definitely in their life, but, you know, co-parenting. Right. But going after your dreams, building a career, like, what is that like for you? You know, I think with my son, I had to wait till he got a little older. You know what I mean? Like, when he was younger, I wasn't doing none of this stuff. I was just doing my work, you know, my little 9-to-5 vocal coaching stuff, and just taking care of him. But as he started to get older and this started to happen, I was like, I'm taking him along for the ride with me, you know? And I guess you're right. I don't balance it. I mean, I homeschool too, so it's a lot of different things, you know, different layers to it. But my motto lately has been just 1 hour at a time. I love it.
You know what I mean? I don't stress out if certain things aren't done or there's dishes in the sink. I mean, it's like I try my best to keep a schedule and a routine, but I'm also just like, okay, one thing at a time, at a time. And I have good days and bad days like we all do, you know? There's days where I'm like, okay, I'm throwing in the towel. I can't do it. Leave me alone. You know? But I think it makes a difference to have a good support team, you know, a good support system and stuff, and just one day at a time. Does he think you're cool? Like, he does. You know, it's interesting because we did a skit about him wanting a video game, Grand Theft Auto, and I was like, oh no, you ain't getting that game, okay? I was like, no, you are not getting that game. But then it became funny because it became an opportunity, because one of the guys that's in the game, his manager, like the voice actor, Sling Johnson. Oh, yeah. And they was like, oh, well, it would be so funny to do a skit together. So I was like, okay. So we did a skit. It totally went viral. Wow. And I was like, okay, I guess gaming is a thing.
Right. It's legit. It's legit. Like our parents didn't think hip-hop was legit. Right. They're like, oh, it's still around.
I mean, till this day, that video is still going every day. But he thinks that's so cool. Like, he's just like, I got to meet them. How cool. Like, and he always is like, when we met Bone, you know, he came and he was just like, that is so cool, Mommy. That is so cool. And I get recognized everywhere. Like, you know.
My mommy's famous.
So he'll even be out with his friends and they'll be like, somebody will DM me like, I saw Josh at the carnival. Like, just like okay. You know, it's just funny. Like, we'll be out and people will be like, oh, you know. Sometimes they won't even know my name, but they just know.
You're the girl.
They're like, you're a TikToker. You make the videos. Like, so I think he thinks it's cool. Yeah. For now.
What are his interests? Like, is he interested?
He loves basketball. Yeah. But he's, you know, he's his own character. I mean, he loves the garden. Like I was saying earlier, he loves the garden. He loves hosing down the driveway. Like, he be cooking and cleaning, and I'm just like,
we need to get our kids together so that they can encourage.
Right.
My kids are very talented. They have a lot of different interests, but hosing down the driveway and cooking and cleaning is not. It's not one of their interests. So he's a special child. What's his name?
Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua. Perfect model son.
Yeah. So no, we have a really good relationship, and I always want us to communicate and you know, have that open bond and spend time. He's all about quality time. I know that's his love language. He's always like, I want to spend some time, or can we go sit on the porch and have our coffee? You know, and I'm like, let's go sit on the porch and start the day off with our coffee, and we just keep talking and going. We talk about conspiracy theories. We talk about aliens,
aliens, space.
The ocean.
My 9-year-old is always giving me random facts. Did you know planets go? I'm like, no, I didn't.
I'm like, no, where'd you find that on TikTok?
Right. I was like, you found that on TikTok. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but it's a fun age. It's a fun age.
It is. Yeah, it's very, very cool. So one of the things that intrigues me that I thought about when I thought about interviewing you, this podcast is called All the Women I've Been. And I'm very proud to be a woman, especially a Black woman, and my goal is just to uplift us and encourage us, give us an outlet to tell our stories and things like that. But talking about 90s music or just the era of the 90s, 2000s, I started thinking about just some 90s women archetypes, and like either real women or just characters from movies or TV shows or whatever that just inspired you. Like what women artists or actresses or whatever inspired you in the 90s, and how did they inspire you?
Oh, there's so many. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Of course, all the singers, like I said, Mariah Carey. I loved Mariah Carey. I just loved her writing ability and stuff like that. But it's interesting when you just said that. I miss a lot of the moms on the TV shows. You know what I mean? Like the family dynamic. I feel like we don't see that on TV a lot no more.
Yes, Claire Huxtable.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, like Harriet or like Family Matters.
Oh, I love Harriet.
Moesha, all of them. Then I'm like, gosh, like I just feel like we had so many role models back then. So many people to look up to.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think about shows like Living Single. Where you have
the girlfriends dynamics.
Dynamic. They're all bosses in their own right.
Right.
All very different. I thought it gave women of color a great opportunity to see women of color outside of the stereotypes that are put on us.
Exactly.
But
that's where I really feel like, because there was a lot of stuff that we were just watching, Sister, Lisa, and all them shows that I'm like, we don't have that now.
Right. And I also feel like there was a focus put on like
the drama, the crazy reality shows that it's just like that's not
right. No, it's not. And back then, I felt like there were we had like video hoes and for the hip hop you have the girls shaking
vixens
it or whatever.
And stuff.
But like on regular television and even in music and stuff like that, there was just a sense of like pride about like being a woman,
and feminine, and really being a woman,
yourself to a certain standard, not taking no shit from people, like Queen Latifah.
Yes, I love Queen Latifah.
Yeah, it was just like this. It was like a movement for women of color in that era. And I kind of miss that.
I do too.
Especially
and I just
rappers.
thought of that right when you said it. Even, girl, why was I just listening to the Brat's first album? And I was like, come on.
I was the Brat for Halloween.
Was you?
I was the Brat. Jackson, my 13-year-old, was Eazy-E.
Oh, no way. You'll have to send me some pictures.
I will. And Roosevelt was Tupac.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was so good.
I have to see that. Yeah, I just felt like people was really in their element. You had so many different dynamics back then, but it's missing from today's culture, I feel like.
Yeah.
The female rappers, I'm just like, again, I respect every artist.
Of course,
but I'm like,
but
back then, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's not anything that I'm saying like, 20 years from now.
I forget the songs within a couple months. Like, you know what I mean? Like a couple weeks, and like that stuff was just timeless, and we're still listening to these songs.
Right.
Like,
how did your parents feel about your love for hip hop and R&B?
Okay, so my mom's Filipino, okay? So she's this little Filipino lady. She'd be like,
they got soul. Filipinos got soul. I grew up with a lot of Filipinos.
No.
They can dance their asses off.
Listen, Filipinos and Polynesians, we don't be playing, okay? But it's so funny because everybody's like, oh, you're Filipino mom. But it just be so funny when she be trying to say the names, because she just be like, you went to Corruptions and the bone, But they're so supportive of it, and they love it. And a lot of it too is a lot of my older brother. I have a brother who's 5 years older than me. So sometimes people will be like, well, what you know about this song? Like, you was too young.
My brother is
But my brother was always putting me on to all of the music. So a lot of like, so it's been really cool for him because he's like, that's so crazy. Like I couldn't, you know. So yeah, but they love it. They support it.
Yeah, my parents were cool. Yeah, of course my parents loved R&B. Their music was definitely different than
right.
ours.
Like I remember my mom being like,
what is that? What are you listening to?
Right.
My mom is a singer, so she was always critiquing people's voices. Like, of course nobody can touch Whitney, of course.
Anita, she's like, you ain't touching Anita.
You ain't touch Anita, you can't touch Whitney. When Brandy came out, she's like, her voice is just it's just so nasally, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but she's 14, like she's a child. But I will say this: I still am a huge Mary J. Blige fan.
Oh, I love Mary J.
Love Mary. I've actually met her. I was at a party with her, sitting. She's so chill and quiet and to herself. That. And Tasha Smith was with her, and Tasha had to go do something. She was like, "Can you sit here with Mary?" And just like, you know, I was like, yeah. I don't need to do anything but sit next to Mary J. Blige, right?
The Mary J. Right.
It was so sweet. And like, we're sitting there talking, and I'm talking to her about, she was about to take on an acting role.
Okay.
And I'm an actor, so I'm talking to her about that. And all of a sudden, they literally start playing a Mary J. Blige song. So I'm like talking to Mary J. Blige while they're playing a Mary J. Blige song.
I know, that was so surreal.
And I was just, my brain was just like,
I know.
Like, this is so cool. You know? I know. But when I was younger and Mary J. Blige came out, like, I feel like the first song I remember of Mary J. Blige was like "You Remind Me."
Oh yeah.
And I don't even know if that was her first single or not, but that was the first song I remember. And I just loved her. And I remember my mom being like, "She can't sing," and I'm like, "What? Yes, she can." Like, you could not tell me that Mary J. Blige didn't have the best voice in the world.
Right.
Like,
it was just a different generation, but just like it is now. But it's like, I just feel like it's so different.
Yeah.
People don't have soul like that.
I
When
know.
she was singing "I'm Going Down" and you know, "Not Gonna Cry," we was all in our feelings.
Right.
Wasn't even going through nothing like that.
Didn't even know. I didn't even have my heart broke by a guy, like by a boy yet.
Yeah.
And
I was just like all in my feelings in the back seat.
I'm not gonna shed no tears. Okay.
All the time. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But artists today it's missing that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a lot of lessons. I feel like 90s, the women in the 90s archetypes, they taught us, like even the Waiting to Excel.
Right. Oh, all the classic movies too.
All those movies, and then now that you're grown,
I
you go
love
back and
Beyonce
think about
too.
it. Oh, I do.
I love me some
I love
Beyonce.
her.
I loved Destiny's Child. That was my era. Was the Destiny's Child
And they came
era.
out in the late 90s.
Yes.
So I honestly consider them a part of that.
I really wish they would reunite. That would be so
great.
Cool. Yeah,
They
I love
probably
Destiny's
will at
Child.
some point. Yeah, they were dope. Okay, now how do you think R&B and hip hop in the 90s shaped your view of relationships and love and like self-esteem? Like listening.
You know
to
what's
that
so
music?
funny? Because things changed so drastically. Because why was I listening to? Okay, remember when it was all about the independent woman era? Don't need no man to pay my bills.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then now it's like all about that. And I just thought that was
It's
so
very different.
interesting. I think back then we were hopeless romantics. You know, like the songs would just make you go, oh, I want to know what that feels like. And,
Right.
You know? Yeah.
I think, let me think. For me, it taught me a lot of lessons. Like before I had to learn them myself.
Right.
So I'm a type of person, I listen to the lyrics.
Me too.
Like,
I'm all about the
I'm
lyrics.
a lyrics person.
Yeah, me too.
So I learned a lot I actually learned a lot from rap music about the kind of woman I didn't want to be.
Right. Very true.
So
very
I
true.
would listen. So
speak on it.
there is a song in particular that says, "You know, I know this girl by the name of Danielle," which is my name.
Oh no!
Body of a goddess, face
that
from hell.
DPG girl.
I remember being in the car listening to that song, and when
like,
they said my name, I was happy for 2 seconds,
and then
and I was like.
He was like, that is not
So I'd be like, face from heaven. Face
and that's
from
what
heaven.
I'm
Okay.
But see, that's the other thing too. Is like we were listening to so many songs, we didn't even know what they was talking about.
Okay. I didn't know. Listen, I would lay in my bed, literally listen to all the things your man won't do. I did not know what the subway was.
No. I remember SWV's downtown. I was like,
Downtown? Right.
They go to the
I was like, I don't even know what a subway. I'm like, I've never seen a subway. They don't have subways in Sacramento. And it wasn't until I got older, I'm like, oh, but at least they were a little more discreet.
They was
like
discreet
nowadays,
with
it's like,
it.
I'm gonna eat
all
shoulders
out.
on the blah blah. Like, damn, like, do we have to be?
I
so...
know. It was different, girl. But that is so funny about the dog pound. That is so funny.
Yeah, I learned a lot. Even like I get around, like he was like loose lips sink ships.
Right.
And like don't be a tease.
Right.
Like these type of things. I was like, I internalized those things.
Yeah.
To where I didn't even lose my virginity until I was 21. So I was very, I don't know. I just took music has always been like very special to me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it
when
shaped
artists,
us.
yes, and
Yeah.
when artists put these songs out, I internalized
Right.
the things that they were saying.
Yeah.
And also the women, like I'm Not Your Superwoman by Karen White.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I for whatever reason that song just like
I know.
hit my heart, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be in a marriage, like I don't
in
want
a
to be in
relationship
that kind
like
of
that in that
relationship,
situation.
you know?
Yeah. You know which one does that for me too is that Kelly Price. Like she used to have some songs
Yes,
like
she did.
This is Mr. Biggs, and I'd be like, oh my God, a friend of mine.
I'm not. Wait, you said Frank, shut up.
He's like,
Can't you see 2 minutes? But I told your ass to get to walking. That's my. Oh
But I
my
was just
God.
like, oh
so
my
good.
God, so much drama.
So
like,
good.
yeah. But it was life lessons, girl. We wasn't going through none of that, okay?
And then it hurts my heart too, like with situations like R. Kelly, where like, you know, he's been I love R. Kelly's music.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to listen to it
Right.
because of, but at the end of the day, somebody did a post about like who were the best, like the top 10 best R&B people of all time or whatever, and people were leaving R. Kelly off
Out
the
of
list.
it,
And I'm
yeah.
like, listen guys, you can't do that. Like he's
Right.
the stuff that he did was trash, and
Right.
he should face the consequences of all of it. But his music literally like revolutionized R&B music.
Yeah,
Like,
because he wrote for a lot of people too. Changing Faces, Aaliyah. I mean, there was
lot
so
of
many
people.
songs that I was like, of course R. Kelly wrote that. Like, you know what I mean?
especially when you hear it back now.
Yeah.
Like, you hear his music so much, but he was the king of R&B.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
And-
unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's a part of my like, it's part of my development, or you
Right.
know, just a part of my little life at that time.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, dang man,
I know.
get your shit together, my nigga.
That's terrible. Oh my God.
Man. Okay, so let's play a little game.
Okay, girl, I'm ready.
I have no idea what these cards say. We'll
Okay,
do
so
it.
this is lyrically correct, you said?
It's called Lyrically Correct.
Okay,
it's
I'm
the,
for it.
It's the 90s, 2000
Okay.
edition, hip hop and R&B.
Okay.
I'm gonna just give this disclaimer. We might not get any of these. Do
Okay,
not
I was gonna
judge
say,
us.
don't come for me, okay?
Right. Do not judge us, okay? We don't have a PhD.
No,
in
we
this
just
area.
this
We
ain't
just love
scripted.
it.
We just
Right.
going with it, okay?
So what we'll do, I'll do one, and I'll ask you, and then
Okay.
you do one, you ask me. Okay.
All right.
All right. So,
Oh God.
what did Joe want to know?
I want to know what turns you on.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
Oh, I love Joe. And we've been talking about Joe a lot this episode. Like, what's happening?
I know. I ran into him. Well, no, you weren't. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my friend over here. She wasn't with me, but I ran into Joe at the Village one day.
Okay.
Had a full-on fangirl moment. I was like, oh my God, Joe. I was like, I'm sorry, can I take a picture with you, please?
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a big fan. He's like, yeah. He was so nice. Like, if I had it
love
my
it.
way when I get married again, Joe would sing my wedding. Like,
I love
he's-
that. Okay, you ready?
Oh, no. I'm nervous.
Okay. Khalees can teach you how her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, but she'll have to do what?
She'll have to charge.
That's right, girl.
She gonna have to charge, okay? Okay.
Oh, Lord.
What time, and this is multiple choice, what time did Tweet get home last night? A,
Oh my God.
around 4:45 p.m., B, around 2:45,
I think
C, around 4:45. D, at 4 a.m.
Girl, I don't remember, but I know the song. Oh my God. But I don't remember. Around the corner. What was it?
3. You knew it.
I was like a quarter to something.
Yep, a quarter to 3.
I loved Tweet too.
Yeah, she was dope.
She was so dope. She had such a unique voice.
Yeah,
I
she
loved
did.
her.
That whole little crew, like Missy,
Timbaland, Magoo,
oh,
Leah Genuine was with them.
Yes.
All of them.
That Keep It Up.
I was like,
that's my song.
Oh my God, that whole crew. And that
love it.
sound was like, I remember when that first
Unique.
came, it was so unique.
Very
At first,
unique.
I remember I was kind of confused. Like when they first came out, I was like, a lot was kind of going on. But then, oh man, they changed the sound of music.
Yeah, I love it. Their style is very unique.
Okay, girl, let's see what we got. Okay, Rihanna's man knows she's unfaithful, and what is it that it's doing to him?
It's doing to him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Rihanna's man knows she's unfaithful, and what is that doing to him?
Oh. Is it killing him inside?
Girl, come on. You a pro at this game. I'm thinking you check these cards.
Right. I thought it was killing her inside. She said, I'm unfaithful, and it's killing him
You
inside. I'm fine.
Ooh.
I'm
That's
fine
something,
being
ain't it?
unfaithful.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait.
Sierra said, you may look at her and think she's what?
Sierra said, I don't know.
You may look at me and
Look at Sierra?
Yes.
Think that I'm not a young girl, but I'm not
Just a young girl.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was a movement in itself too. Come on, Sierra.
Well, it was funny. I saw a video that she posted where they were like, well, what are the goodies? Like, what are the goodies? And she was like, well, anything you think that's special to you. I'm like, girl, that's pussy. Just say it. Just say it. But she was so young. I'm like, they probably wanted her to give like a.
Yeah, she was. What was it? It was
So
like
cute.
R&B and crunk. It was like R and crunk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually still really like Sierra.
Me too.
As a person, like I feel like she's just like
she's a
sweet
sweetheart.
person.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for this? I did a video to this song. So, what advice did Nivea have for you?
Shit. Oh. Wait. Right. Wait. My cameraman's like. He's like, I know this man. What advice did Nivea? I don't remember. What is it? Tell me. I don't remember.
You remember the don't mess with my
man. I'ma be the one to give it to you. Oh,
so it says find your own man.
Find your own man.
Little
Little advice for you. Oh, shoot. Yes.
I know.
Okay. Hey, that was a good one. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Okay. What was Keeley from 3LW tired of seeing on his pager?
Oh, wait.
Tired of seeing on his
Broken
pager.
Promises? No. Looking at your pages, seeing different numbers. And
Yes, different numbers. Numbers and numbers.
They be clowning her so hard for that damn song. And I'm like, y'all need to quit because that was a movement, okay?
It was very popular. That was the jam.
Okay. You know what? I don't know about this one.
What?
Okay, who was the girl Ryan, Toby, and City High took outside with him?
Oh.
You know that?
City High. That was that song. Wait, City High. They only had like one song.
I
didn't
know.
they?
I was gonna say this one's kind of hard.
Took outside with him. Cause what? Wait, now I'm trying to remember the song.
They said, "What would you do if
Someone's at home. Yeah.
But it says Lonnie. I don't know if you. Shall we skip? We
Skip that one.
Girl.
That's not good. Lyrically incorrect. We don't like that one.
Oh, girl. Kiki Wyatt
Oh.
can picture y'all in the living room next to what?
Oh.
God, you better come on.
And wait. No. Wait. Repeat it again.
Okay, Kiki Wyatt can picture y'all in the living room next to what? I can picture us.
The fireplace.
It says by the mantle, by the fireplace.
By the mantle, by the fireplace. Whatever.
Okay, can we talk about her vocals though?
She's amazing. The little
Vocals is
her vocals are incredible.
crazy.
Yeah, she's
She's a powerhouse.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
dope. Very, very dope. I loved her voice.
Okay, we got one more?
Yeah, one more, baby.
Okay, girl.
Let's see. Oh, Vivian Green is on an emotional what?
Roller coaster.
Yes.
Come on, girl.
Love that song.
I love that song.
Yes.
I'm probably going to play that tonight now that you said
We
that.
did
I need
good.
to add that to my playlist.
Yes. She had another one later on. It was in the late 2000s, but I just love that song too. What was that song that she sang?
Oh my God. Wait, no, I'm thinking of, what's
good.
that one, In My Mind? You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? But that was, who
No,
was that?
that's the
That was
other
Heather Headley.
Headley.
Yeah.
She was good
Girl,
too.
she was good
She
too.
had a very unique, weird
Yeah.
voice. Thank you. This was
We can
so
talk
fun.
90s R&B all
right?
day.
This was so fun. Hopefully, I'll be at a concert that you're hosting.
Of course you will be.
And just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you,
It's,
girl.
It's
You
awesome.
too.
It's fun. I wish you the best.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, great to meet
Yes,
you.
you too, girl. That was fun. Thanks for having me.
You're
All the
welcome.
success. And thank you so much for having me on this podcast.
You are so welcome.
It's going to be amazing.
Thank y'all.
I pray.